And thank you all for coming. You could be doing so many things. Bowling. I mean, what are people doing? Watching Bollywood movies. You could be doing so many things. But you said, I want to see Krishna. You know, this word in Sanskrit is called darshan, which means to see Krishna. Has the root word to see. But my spiritual master used to say, it has a double meaning. As so many things do. It means that we like to see Krishna, right? Beautiful Krishna, decorated nicely. He's Vanamali, is one of Krishna's so many names, unlimited names. Vanamali means he likes to be decorated with forest flowers. So it's very nicely decorated. But darshan also means we like to see Krishna, but Krishna likes to see us. Yeah, it's a reciprocal. It works both ways. Krishna says, oh, my devotees, they could be bowling or watching Bollywood movies or whatever it is. And they said, no, I'm going to go see Krishna. So Prabhupada said that Krishna is not hard-hearted. Rather, he's very soft-hearted. He's Karuna Sindhu. He's an ocean of mercy. And even a small thing, what is it? Patram pushpam palam toyam yo me bhakta priyachate tadaham bhakti uparatam ashnami prayatatmanaha. Which means you offer me a leaf, a flower, or a fruit, a little bit of water, and if it's offered with love, I accept it. And who can't get, and Prabhupada said, if you can't get a leaf, a flower, a little bit of fruit, or what, and leaf means tulsi leaf. If you can't get those things, and Prabhupada said, at least you can fold your hands and cry that you're in such a mystery. So everybody can offer something, some love to Krishna. But we're going to talk about something else when I get ready. And you're not going to like my answer. But it's my duty to tell the truth. This seat is called Vyasasana, Vyasasana. It means the seat of Vyas. It doesn't mean that I'm a big something and I fill in the blank. It doesn't mean I'm a big person and therefore I'm honored by sitting on a big seat. It doesn't mean that at all. It means that this is the seat of Vyasadeva, who's the original compiler of all the Vedas. That's a whole other story. But it means if you're sitting on this seat, you can't say, I think, in my opinion. I was in Prabhupada's room one time. We're off the track, but it's okay. I was in Prabhupada at a darshan. A number of devotees are sitting there. And some man kept saying, well, in my opinion. Well, oh no, he kept saying, as far as I can see, Swami. Well, as far as I can see. Well, as far as I can see. And after the third or fourth time of saying as far as I can see, Prabhupada said, that's my point. How far can you see? So it doesn't mean I think, in my opinion. No, you can't sit on this seat and do that. You have to deliver the words, conclusions of Vyasadeva, the compiler of the Vedas. You have to speak Siddhanta. If you sit there, nobody can come down that aisle. I don't mean to embarrass you, but I just know what's going to happen. You'll be amazed. The closer we get to when we serve out the dinner, the fuller this room becomes. It's just guaranteed. So they're going to try to ply through there and step on your lap. It's going to be a distraction to you. Okay. Huh? Yeah, you don't. No, I'm trying to avoid difficulty in your life. So the question I wanted to raise, the topic, the theme, and we don't have that much time, is why do good things happen? Why do bad things happen to good people? To put even a clearer focus on it, why do people, devotees, people who are surrendered, people of faith, trying to serve the Supreme Lord, why does the wrecking ball sometimes come right through their window? Why? If God, and we accept a priori, or as an established fact at the beginning, that God is all-powerful, omnipotent, and God is all-merciful. This is by definition. If God played favorites, or if God, he's doing the best he can, that one just slipped past him. Whoops. Well, that's not God. He's all-powerful, and he's all-merciful. That means that if he wanted to, he could fix the problem, whatever material obstacle we're facing. He could fix the problem. He's all-powerful. He can reverse time. He can do so many things. So Krishna could fix it. And if he's all-merciful, then he's kind, compassionate, then he would feel a sense of obligation to fix it. So he could fix our suffering, and he has the ability to, and if we accept the other definition, all merciful, then he should feel our pain and want to do it. So the vexation of this question is what makes many people atheists. Because there's no, how do you square that? Okay, done. See you later. No, don't. No, we're going to try to answer it. And I took some notes. Let me ask you a question. Everybody knows a telescope, right? You've all played with a telescope. A little handy-dandy, And kids are naturally curious. You look at it one way. Why do people usually have a telescope? Yeah, you can see it makes something bigger. It brings it into focus, something at a distance. It becomes clear. But I'm sure that all of you in your childhood also turned the telescope around. You look through the big end, and what happens? Don't overthink it, my friends. What happens? Things become smaller. So it's the same eye, it's the same object, it's the same act of seeing. But according to how you're using the instrument, according to your angle of vision, it becomes big or small. You see the world completely differently. Okay? My point is that what matters is our angle of vision. What makes up our angle of vision? What are the supports, the conclusions? We all have conclusions about life. There's only one life. You drop dead, live hard, and leave a good corpse, or whatever it is. Or, there's a God and a heaven and a hell. I mean, everybody's got a vision. I don't even worry about it. I just want to do good for others. Well, then define good for me. My father, who actually was a good man, my father used to give all of his employees for Thanksgiving, which is pending. He used to give each of his employees a big turkey. And he thought he was a good man. But he's supporting factory farming. The turkeys don't think he was a good man. They're not too happy about it. So how do you define good? It's a whole thing. So we all have supports. We have, like, if you ever seen them blow up a building, you know, there's 3 buildings in a row, and they'll just hit the plunger, and the building in the middle collapses. The other ones are untouched. You ever seen that? Google it. It's kind of fun, actually, you know. Anyway, how do they do that? I'll tell you how they do that. They get the structural plans of the building, and they figure out what the linchpins are, what's supporting that structure. You blow out those linchpins, and the building collapses on its own weight. We all have linchpins that hold up our worldview. We all have worldviews. Each one of us has a little different value system, and what's good, what's bad, what's right, what's true, what's real happiness, what we think is happy. We all have a picture that we impose on the world and through which we process information and our experiences. We are proposing tonight, sitting here right now, and the Vedas propose a different way of looking at the world. You look one way, it looks big. You look another way, it looks small. So it's not unusual. I mean, we could spend more time on this, but I want to say some other things. So the point is, why do bad things happen to good people? And to put a sharper point on it, why do devotees, people of faith, you looking for somebody? How do people of faith, why do they suffer? Okay, that's the premise and theme. Who are we? Well, isn't it, I think, therefore I am? We all, you know, a guy told me the other day that his body was just a vehicle for carrying his brain around. You know, and I thought the guy's actually got a point, you know, that we all are inside, and Krishna calls the body a city of 9 gates. You know, you can enumerate them, but 2 of them are the eyes. So we're riding around in this body, and we're looking at things. And then we have certain, you know, structural values that help us process all that. So the first thing to ask is, see you later, my friend. The first thing to ask is, who are we? That's sort of where it all begins, because from who I am determines what I want. So many things. So who am I? I'm not going to take up too much of your time, but most people think they're this body. They think that the goal of life is to titillate these senses and get all the gusto, physical sense satisfaction they can. And if they don't think that, they think, well, I'm the mind. I'm this consciousness. I'm this set of values. I have a philosophical gloss on life. So I'm either this body and I'm this mind. But what if we're not? Again, the telescope switches. What if I'm the eternal soul within? What if I'm not black or white or red or yellow or male or female, fat or thin? What if that has nothing to do? If I'm riding, what to do? What if I'm riding in a Rolls Royce and I get out and I'm Thank you, Mataji. We'll wrap up soon. Whoop, she escaped. I raised 2 kids as a single parent. I know it's not easy, so thank you. So the point I was making is that what if I'm not this body? I'm something else. What if I'm not this mind? And if you think about it, we've all had different value systems that evolve and change. If you don't evolve through life and change your world, I mean, you may not change your core values, but if you don't grow and expand your well, you're dead. I mean, people that's so. We've all changed our values, or they've evolved or refined. Hopefully, we've all learned some lessons along the way. So the mind changes based on experience. So the body changes, the mind changes. So who are we? The view from the Vedic vision is for the eternal soul. And that's important to address my initial question. Why do bad things happen to good people? Why doesn't God just fix everything and make it an easy ride? And the only way you can square it, I'll share from my own experience. Well, why waste my time with that? But what waste your time? But when I learned from Bhagavad Gita, because I thought, how can there be God? How can how can a child be born blind? How can, what is it in the old Bible? Psalm, golden spoons to others, silver spoons to others. Why the disparities in life? How does that make any sense? Why does somebody get an advantage and somebody not? Is God being partial? And if so, why? On what basis? But as soon as you understand that there's transmigration of the soul, we're not the body, we're not the mind, we're the eternal soul. We're riding in this body at the particular moment. But each life is a lesson. We can go up, we can go down. The root word of education, the Latin, is to bring forth, to draw out as from darkness into light. Well, hang on a minute. Maybe I did something in a previous life, and now I'm getting the reaction. Even more importantly, maybe I'm being honed into a better person. Actually, people learn more under pressure. What turns a piece of coal into a diamond? Pressure and time. You got to add time. It's pressure and time. And if each life is a lesson, you can say, well, I don't remember. Anybody here remember learning how to walk? When you get up, I'll be done in a minute. When you stand up, are you going to have to think, all right, how does this work now? Right foot, left foot, one step in front of the other, I'll balance. Do you remember all that? Do you remember riding a bicycle? My mother taught me how to ride a bicycle. I had training wheels, Now, I haven't ridden a bicycle in a while, and it's with good reason. I have no balance left. But, you don't remember that consciously. You don't remember speaking. You think, now, A, B, C, D, how does a syllable work? You have so many things that we remember instinctively, left over from, but we learned it at one point, subliminally. That's the word I'm looking for. We remember. So we may consciously not remember our previous life, but it's in there. And it's even more so because Krishna as the super soul, as the Paramatma is riding, you know that little voice of consciousness, Krishna's riding in our heart. Mata smita gyanam aponam cha, Krishna says in the Gita. He's giving everyone's remembrance, forgetfulness, all of that. So as soon as we accept, well, hang on a minute, that each life is a lesson. And this isn't the end of the show. I did something before that put me in this condition. And what I'm doing now will put me in my next condition. And even more than that, it's not just a mundane tit for tat. You know, action, reaction, action. I did this, therefore I get that. And in the Bible, what does it say? And I'm not criticizing. I am a vengeful and wrathful God. Man, you step out of line, zap! You get a thunderbolt. You get smitten. Is it smitten? Smoten? I don't know what the past tense is, but either way, watch out. So, wait a minute. And what is so who am I? I'm the eternal spirit soul. I've had multiple lifetimes. Each life is a chance to grow, to learn. Simple thing. I was very vain in a previous life. I may still be. And sometimes I'm put in a difficult position that humbles me. In the next life, I may not be rich and opulent and powerful. You can leave that door as it is, my friend. Yeah, so there may be it's a honing, it's a learning, it's an educational process. And if I don't learn the lesson once, I'll get it again, until we finally clue in. So it's great good fortune that we have multiple lives. Krishna knows what he's doing. It's the only way you can balance free will and love, because love has to be based on free will. It's the only way you can balance free will and Krishna's predetermination. Krishna's got a handle on everything, but we have to learn ourselves to make the right choices. Has to come. So, now what was I going to say? And what is this world? Once you understand that, I'm not the body, I'm the eternal soul. I've had many, many lifetimes. I'm riding around and around on the wheel of samsara, lifetime after lifetime. And the purpose of it is not just vengeful. It's not just tit for tat, action, reaction, but it's meant to help me grow, to learn, to come to the point of learning how to love. One of our kids, he's 45 years old now and a CPA, but his name was Dwarkadish. Prabhupada liked him very much. He used to call him Mr. DDD, Dwarkadish Das. And he wrote a poem. He in the little one sutra, one verse I remember, was instead of loving a dog or a cat, why not love Krishna, who made all of that? And Prabhupada liked it very much. If we love Krishna, then we can love every living entity perfectly. Not just human beings, not just Americans, not just white or black Americans or male or female, but every living entity, including a tiny ant. We can have full love. That is pure God consciousness. So then we understand, what is this world? This world is not a place where we eke out a little bit of sense titillation. It's not what it's about. It's not. Because the premise is, why doesn't God just make everything easy? There used to be a song, I think it was from Elvis Presley or Frank Sinatra, My Way. I did things my way. Why doesn't everything just go my way? Why doesn't Krishna make it like that? Why does a child I don't know about you, but, after a couple days, couple weeks, a month or two of elementary school, first grade, I wanted out. Said, well, I didn't sign up for this. I want to go home and watch cartoons. I definitely didn't want to go to the dentist. Now, if my loving and patient parents hadn't obliged me to go to school and hadn't forced me to go to the dentist, I would be sitting before you as a toothless idiot. I mean, it's as simple as that. So I didn't want to do it, but they forced me to do it. And I'm the better for it. Jai Shishikurnita, Jai Radhagiri, Jai Jagannath Baladev Subhadra. So, if we understand that we're not this body, there's karma, transmigration of the soul. This world is not just a place for us to get everything we want. That we don't grow, we don't learn. So if we understand those basic principles, what is the purpose of of the world? It's akin to what is this world? If I have a flute and I want to use it as a hammer, and I'm banging away, and I say, what is the use of this flute? It's useless. Is it the fault of the flute? They didn't hammer in the nail? Whose fault is it? You can say it. It's me, Bozo the chimp. It's not what it's designed for. It's never going to work as a hammer. If you use the instrument as it's intended, then lo and behold, I can play beautiful music. And if I want to hammer a nail in, I got to get a hammer. So if we think the purpose of life is to try to enjoy materially, and this world is meant to provide us enjoyment and no difficulties. And if God doesn't do that, then there's no God, I'm an atheist, then I'm sorry to use modern lingo or lingua franca, we're cruising for a bruising. We've set ourselves up for a disappointment. So the purpose of human life is not... let me use this example because I did take some notes. If someone is drowning in the ocean and you're the lifeguard and you see them, help me, help me, they're going down for the proverbial third time. You jump in the water, you swim out there, you make your way through all the waves, you bring the person, you come back to the shore, and you've got their coat. They drowned, but you brought the coat back. Are you going to get the award for Lifeguard of the Year? What? What? So, it doesn't mean we shouldn't do. It means that it should not be our only goal. I mean, we have in ISKCON, we have our food, we have the largest vegetarian meal service in India. It's free meals for kids in schools. We have 8 centers. I forget it's over 1 million meals a day we serve. We open hospitals, we have eye camps, fine. How are they going to read Bhagavad Gita if they can't see? So, fine. That's all well and good. But that's if all you do, and you miss the point of becoming self-realized, developing love for Krishna, and getting out of this place. If there's an alternative. Hello, folks. Where to sit? You got a plan? Otherwise, you can sit here, you can sit over there, as you like. If we understand the purpose of this world, if there's an alternative, that's the main thing. If this, all we are is this body and, this brain moving around in the world, and if all there is, if you have an itch and you scratch it, there's different vagas or pushing factors. And generally speaking, happiness in this world is relieving them. It's like a number line. There's negative numbers, there's 0, and there's the positive numbers, right? You with me? Negative, 0, positive. Most happiness, most people's lives are dedicated from coming to negative to 0, negative to 0, negative to 0. I have an itch, I scratch it. I need money, I make money. I'm getting old or old. Well, I can't go to the gym anymore. I'll practice Tai Chi. Or whatever it is. It's negative 0. It's relieving the stress. But what are we missing in that number line? Negative to 0. Anybody remember their algebra? There's the whole positive side. There's a whole positive side. What if there is a positive side to life? Beyond this body, there's the happiness of the soul serving the Supreme Lord, Krishna. And more importantly, well, not necessarily more importantly, but what if this is not our real home? What if there's a spiritual world? What if there's a kingdom of God? Wherever it's Sat Chit Ananda, if you don't remember anything else. 3 words. Sat Chit Ananda. Now, what do those words? Now, what are the words in Sanskrit? What's one of the words? The first one. Oh, you jumped ahead of me, but that's okay. Okay, Sat means eternal, Chit means full of knowledge, and Ananda means happiness, bliss, uninterrupted happiness. What if there is a spiritual world, a kingdom of God, where the natural state, here the natural state is birth, death, disease, and old age. Sorry, folks, but it's the truth. Birth, death, disease, and old age. And everything is conquered by time. Nothing lasts. Krishna says, time I am in the Gita, and I come to destroy all things. That's pretty spooky. And it should be. But what if there is that positive side, a kingdom of God, where everyone is eternal, full of knowledge, full of happiness, and with Krishna, the most lovable and reciprocating perfectly. That's another whole esoteric science. In different rasas, different moods, Krishna reciprocates perfectly. Then is staying in this world and missing the boat, you're going to go on the cruise, then you show up and you're 10 minutes late and the boat is gone. You're standing on the dock watching it, Well, you blew it. What if we miss the boat? And this human form of life is meant to develop love of Krishna and realize we're not this body and propel ourselves from this dark, dank, temporary world to the kingdom of God, where everything's eternal, full of knowledge and full of happiness. Shouldn't we strive for that? What do you think? Anybody out there? Are you with me? So that will end here. But the learning to see through the scope of the Vedic literature, not basing our life, our goals, our sense of happiness, who we think we are, on the fleeting illusion of this material world, but instead changing our vision to understand we're not this body, we're eternal soul, there's a kingdom of God, and I've got to get out of this place. That's my life's mission. So that's a little thought. Take it home with you. And what is our spiritual birthright? What are the 3 words? You can say them in English. Help me out here. Eternity, knowledge, and happiness, bliss. All right, we'll end there. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Now, are they ready to go with the Abhishek? Or did I surprise them by ending on time? We could, yeah, let's launch them into motion because people are hungry and they want to go home. So while they're setting up, do we take time for questions, or do you have something? Is that all right with you? This is our president, Balaram Prabhu, who's very intelligent and humble and saintly. Yeah, give him an applause. It's not an easy job. Yeah, although it's fun, it's not easy. Okay, so while they're getting everything set up, and they should move quickly, anybody have a question? Are you raising your hand or scratching your head? Now, this is the way it works. I've been doing this for years. People are humble, they're shy, they don't want to ask a stupid question. So everybody in this room is thinking, surely someone else will ask a question. Now, profile that out. If everyone in the room thinks the person next to them will ask a question, what happens? Nobody asks a question. All we need is one person to break the ice. Thank you very much, because I guarantee you something. Well, hang on a minute. I got to quit. Okay, yes. Oh, we need the mic. There we go.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Perhaps somebody that came here for the first time don't know what Snana Yatra is, or
what?
Perhaps somebody.
Good point.
Yes.
This is a festival. Bhakti, devotional service, means to use everything in Krishna's service. To use our mind, to use the physical objects. This is the perfection of yoga, that at every moment, I used to see devotees, members, monks like that. Even in their sleep, they would be they were in their daytime service, they were a priest on the altar. We'll get where we were going. And I would see them, they're offering incense, they're ringing the bell. I would see them in their sleep, flat on their back, with their arm up and ringing a bell. They were dreaming, even in their dreams. I've seen devotees distribute books in their sleep. They're listening, then they'll give an answer, then they're quiet because they're listening. They're distributing. I've seen devotees do so many things. And actually it is the perfection of yoga when we see everything in relation to Krishna, and everything is meant to be used in Krishna's service. This building, tell me when you're ready and move fast. This building was an army barracks built in 1930s. It's been a factory, it's been a movie theater. It was an Elks Lodge. There was a bar in here. And now that same building is a temple, and we use it in Krishna's service. The same tongue that used to speak so much nonsense, it can now speak about Krishna. So our devotional life is designed that there are so many festivals, wonderful events that reenact, remember Krishna's pastimes, Krishna's activities. And we can use everything. I mean, we have a festival that we throw. Are they ready yet? Jeez. Anyway. And Dayanidhi, our treasurer, is not here. But many of you have sponsored it. When we bathe the deities in rose petals, all the way up to their blissful necks. And I forget what that costs, but it's a ton of money we spend in Krishna's service. So you can use money, you can use an Elks Lodge, so many things. So, and that's the perfection of yoga. So this Snana Yatra commemorates a pastime of Krishna when he used to, when he went to, anyway, how to make it short. Anyway, it commemorates a pastime of Krishna. And it celebrates the, many of you have seen, can someone see what's going on? Something is amiss. Are they ready? Because I don't want to hold people up.
I'll check.
Yeah, I know you will, because you're the president. No, he is. He's responsible. He's going to go find out what's up. So, have you ever heard the word Juggernaut? Juggernaut? It means an unstoppable, Govinda. So we'll just finish here. Juggernaut means an unstoppable force, overwhelming, powerful force. And it entered the English language from the British when they saw a festival at Jagannath Puri. And it's Jagannath. Jagannath means Lord of the Universe. It's another name for Krishna. There's a big festival. It has another esoteric meaning, but we'll end here, where they take the deities, the murtis of Krishna, out of the temple and take him on a cart ride. And these carts are huge. I don't know how big they are. If you've ever been to our LA Ratha Yatra, you get an idea. And they're pulled by ropes by hundreds of people. It's an amazing festival. So before that festival, the deity of Lord Jagannath is bathed, and then he's put in seclusion. It's said, hey, somebody left the door open, and Lord Jagannath, when he's bathed, catches a cold, and he's put into seclusion. Actually, he's repainted, he's repaired, because he's made of wood. So that's this festival, this bathing ceremony is one of the ceremonies held before the Ratha Yatra. Our Ratha Yatra is when, Balaram?
December 6th.
December 6th?
Yes.
It's Saturday. Mark your calendar. And where do we go?
5 p.m. it starts. And
Do we have a mic? Okay. Yeah, just so people mark your calendar.
Yes, so it's December 6th, which is a Saturday, and it starts at 5 p.m. And we are part of the Ocean Beach Holiday Parade, which is the 46th annual parade, and there's about 102 other groups in that parade as well. So, yeah.
And our I don't want to embarrass him, but our very intelligent temple president figured out how we can have a Ratha Yatra in San Diego, and how, we figured out what's a good route, where there's a guaranteed crowd. So, all right, so we're going to end there. We're ready to go? Ready means ready, not almost ready. Okay, thank you very much, Hare Krishna.